Mounjaro pen malfunction. Let's talk about Mounjaro pen malfunctions with Mounjaro weight loss. Hi friends, I'm Elizabeth, Countess of Shopping. I have lost 67 pounds. I just gained 2 pounds, so 65 pounds lost from Mounjaro on 42 weeks now. And I am actually on the dose I'm on is 12.5 milligrams. I am not a doctor. This is simply my experience, strength, and hope. Hopefully to help you today walk through some of the things that I've experienced. If you are concerned about your Mounjaro pen malfunctioning, or what happens if you don't feel the prick of your pen, your Mounjaro pen, we're going to talk about it all. But first, make sure down in the description link, you go ahead and check out my blog. It is the place to go for Mounjaro Tirzepatide weight loss, semaglutide weight loss, Wegovy weight loss, Ozempic weight loss. For example, we just added this past week Mounjaro 2.5 milligrams, everything you need to know blog post. It's down in the description link too. Best time of day to take your Mounjaro. What happens if you're not losing on Mounjaro? What are the solutions? So I've got a ton of resources for you, and our free Mounjaro weight loss encouragement group. All are welcome at that table, including semaglutide weight loss, Wegovy weight loss, Ozempic weight loss. Okay, let's talk about the pen malfunctioning with this. First and foremost, the odds of your Mounjaro pen malfunctioning are very, 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 very minimal. This pen... the odds of that, I mean, the way that this pen is constructed, that's one of the reasons that there has been this Mounjaro shortage is because of the pen. It's not because of the contents on the inside of it, but like with the GLP-1, like actual formularity, from my understanding, it's been the actual pen itself because they are hard to mass produce at scale, or harder. Although with the new North Carolina facility getting built with Eli Lilly for tirzepatide weight loss, this is going to be huge when that gets wrapped up. But these pens, and I want to, if you are seeing this video and you just did your injection, you're like, oh my gosh, I think I did it wrong. I want to first and foremost, solution number one is the odds of this malfunctioning are very, very small. I have in our group, which has thousands of people, and I've seen over the past almost full year, getting very close to being a full year of being on Mounjaro myself, the odds of this pen not working the way it's supposed to are very minimal. Eli Lilly, the manufacturer of Mounjaro, is a smart cookie. They're not going to make some cheap, the odds of it malfunctioning are going to be very minimal. Two, before you do your injection, and I should use my statements, before I do my injection, because this is my experience, strength, and hope, it is never medical advice, always putting you to your own medical professional. You do think that you injected it improperly, talk with your medical professional who prescribed this to you. If you do think that it was, go talk to your doctor. But if you don't, what happens if you don't feel the pen prick of the Mounjaro pen? If you don't feel that prick, it's okay. Because there's 3 different locations that you put your Mounjaro injection in, you may not feel it. Like in my stomach versus my thigh versus the back of my arm, I feel different things for those different locations. And so don't necessarily think it's going to be apples to apples, has been my experience. It's just the way that I feel it in my stomach versus the back of my arm. Oh my goodness. It's like day and night. Like in my stomach, I could be sleeping while I inject it. Versus the back of my arm, I'm like, whoa! It doesn't hurt, but I definitely feel the senses of it are different. And with the back of your arm injection, you're going to need, per Eli Lilly's directions in the pamphlet that they give you, they share with you to have someone else help you with the injection on that. By the way, I'm on my set here and on Amazon Live. If you guys have not seen me on Amazon Live, the reason why is our blog post has been bumping. You guys have been loving that and have been requesting different blog posts for me to write and different articles. So that is why I haven't been on Amazon Live recently. If you're like, why haven't I seen you over there? I'm on the set today, but I'm not. I've been writing a ton of blogs for you guys. So let's continue along with some of the malfunctions with this. I've seen in our group people say, okay, what happens if you don't feel the pen prick? What happens, and by the way, there's what the needle looks like. Someone has asked before, there's liquid on the needle after I do the injection. Totally normal. That's totally, in my experience, it's totally, totally normal. I've had that so many times, and the injection has worked just great. Also, I've had other group members say, oh, let me just put this cap on. Would that not just be the worst if I stab myself while I was informing you guys, like trying to share my experience, strength, and hope? And I'm like, yeah. In here, you can see there's still liquid left. That is also, in my experience, totally normal to have liquid left. If you think about it too, right? Like it's not going to get rid of all of the liquid in this pen versus like a syringe, if that makes sense. With a syringe, it's all going to go out, right? This is not that. It is, in my experience, I almost always have liquid left. And I'm like, it's gold. Can I save that? No, you can't save it. Once it goes, that plunger for your Mounjaro pen is done, hun. If you got buns, hun, it is gone. So once that is unlocked and has gone, is gone. So you can't say that it's done. It's glass in there, so you do not want to break this because there's glass, and that could lead to shards of glass or itty bitty little baby shards of glass that you can't even see fine to the eye. So you would not want to break that. Other people have asked about malfunction. Mounjaro pen malfunction is I don't see blood after I do the injection. Totally normal. I've had blood and son's blood of where there's been no blood at all. If you're around your period, I've learned this through my Botox. Through my Botox injections, you could bleed more than, if not, depending on your time of cycle. That's actually pretty normal. If you're doing some sort of injection, like you can bleed more or less depending on where you are with your cycle. So if you don't bleed, or if you do bleed, it's also totally normal too. I encourage, and one of my other solutions to prevent any sort of, again, the odds of having a Mounjaro pen malfunction are so small. But if this does freeze, you're going to have to throw your pen away, right? You can leave your pen out for 21 days without it being refrigerated, but at a certain temperature. I have a blog post going into more detail on that, but you can, if it's as long, the freezing thing is more of a concern than leaving out at room temperature. It's going to lessen also the effectiveness, right? Like you're going to want to make sure it stays in the fridge. So don't not put it in the fridge. It needs to be refrigerated. And be mindful near the back of your fridge. That also can affect, right? Like the temperature of it needs to be above certain. And I have a whole blog post on what those degrees are within your refrigerator. So if you are also wondering, okay, for my locations, the 3 injection sites, and I have a whole blog post on the Mounjaro best injection sites down in the description link below. But with those 3, they're your arm, your stomach, and your thigh. For me, I feel I have different reactions or side effects and also hunger levels with different sites. So I know in my stomach, usually that week I'm probably going to be a little bit more hungry than the back of my arm. The back of my arm, I am out. I'm like Mike Tyson. I am KO'd. I am like knocked out. When I do it in the back of my arm, when my husband injection, my hot count, the injection in the back of my arm, I'm like, oh, I'm sleepy. Which, by the way, I have no makeup. I'm so sleepy because we have been fostering a 120-pound Great Dane. If you guys know, we foster dogs. And so the most recent one, her name's Pepper. She's so sweet. And I haven't slept, so I'm like really tired. I'm really tired. But it's not Mounjaro that's making me tired this time. It's actually because of our Great Dane foster that we have, Pepper. So having the malfunctions with these, making sure that the pen itself, that you're making sure it's refrigerated, it's not freezing, that it's not getting too hot either. It's like Goldilocks. You don't want it too hot. You don't want it just right. And then also making sure when you're done with this that you dispose of it properly. Eli Lilly used to give their biohazard, or they're like the boxes of what you do with the pens afterwards. I will link down below the one that I bought off Amazon. I have a favorite one that's easy to use, and it has like biohazard on there for disposing these. Eli Lilly is no longer giving those out. Thank you very much, by the way, to our Countess of Shopping community in that free encouragement group where there's thousands and thousands of us. Which, by the way, if you do apply to go into that group, it's totally free, but make sure you put your email and answering all the questions. It mitigates spam. You will not get approved into that group if you don't answer all the questions, just because there's a lot of spammers out there, and that is my safe space and your safe space too. And so I guard it like a hawk. So if anything flags as spam, people don't get in. And so people's feelings get hurt. I'm finding people's feelings really get hurt if they don't get entered into the group, the free encouragement group. And that's never my intention, is to disclude. It's always to be super inclusive. So it's not because I don't like you. It's because you didn't answer the questions probably, or your account is less than 2 years old on Facebook and it looks like a fraudulent account, or you didn't put your email in, or like you didn't fill out the questions. So, okay, let's go back over to our so in our group with that, people have said various things. We had a group member talking about how they legitimately did have a pen malfunction, and they had called Eli Lilly. I've actually had several people do this. They called Eli Lilly, and usually Eli Lilly's like, sorry. I've seen one group member who did get a pen replacement, but the hoops that chick had to jump through was a lot. More often than not, for people who do think that they've had a malfunction, Eli Lilly, from what I have seen, and again, this is just secondhand information. It is not firsthand for using my I statements. This is me simply being an observer now for almost a year with this, that other people, that you're not going to, people are like, I'm going to call Eli Lilly and get a bed. Probably not, boo. Probably not. I would call your medical professional because they may have samples you can have, because sometimes they do get samples that maybe they can give you a sample if that pen's not working. But more often than not, you're going to feel it. And I also saw somebody who had a Mounjaro pen malfunction, and she injected herself not once, not twice, but thrice with a pen because she's like, oh, it malfunctioned. I'm like, oh my gosh, is your body going to shut down? Like, you need to immediately go to the ER. Do not, if you feel like you've had a Mounjaro pen malfunction, inject yourself again without talking to a medical professional. Do not do that. Do not pass go. Do not collect your $200 in Monopoly money. Like, do not re-inject yourself. Because do not do that. Talk to your medical professional. Like, I'm always going to punch you to your medical professional. That scares me when people are like, oh, I just re-injected myself. No, like, that's a lot. Like, even just adjusting by one day, it can really, with the amount that we're getting within that week, we have a full week with the medication. Just be super mindful. If you do think that you had to inject like a malfunction, a Mounjaro pen malfunction, talk to your medical professional, because they can also walk through with you some questions too, right? And I can in the group, sometimes I can too, but I'm like, I'm not your doctor, I'm not your nurse practitioner, I'm not your physician's assistant, I'm not any of those things. I'm a lady who owns, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I own a large scale marketing business, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm simply sharing my experience, strength, and hope of what's worked really, really well for me, and hopefully to help encourage you too, because this community is about action, solutions, positivity, and that's really, really important to me too, of not going down the medical rabbit hole, because that's definitely what I'm not. So the other things to think about with these two is I always encourage making sure you're staying ahead of your refills on your prescription too, in our free Mounjaro and the free Mounjaro weight loss encouragement group, and also Wegovy weight loss and Tirzepatide weight loss and semaglutide weight loss. All are welcome at that group. I've seen people who are like, oh, I have one more, like tomorrow I need to take my pens and I don't have any more. I'm like, oh my gosh, stay ahead of your prescription because of the Mounjaro shortage. We're seeing that is ending. We're coming near the tail end per like media outlets and the FDA shortage list. But many of our group members are like, no, in my neck of the woods, in my specific area, I'm encountering still a Mounjaro shortage. I personally am not here in rural Virginia. I'm not. But I know a lot of our other group members still are, even though the FDA shortage is changing that list. It changes like often. So even with that list changing, be mindful of that. Okay, now many of you have asked, and I'm doing a slow, if you've made it this far, a couple of things. One, the Telehealth company is my recommendation. I'm going to link it down below. I do have for you, and many of you have been like, Countess, we've been waiting for weeks now for your recommendation for the Telehealth company. The reason why I've been waiting is I've been negotiating a discount for you. So I have a 25% off Telehealth code that you can use down below. It's in the description link below. If you've made it this far, I did not want 10 million people bombarding them just yet. We're doing kind of a slow roll in. It is my telehealth company I am personally using now. I've switched over to them because I like the way that I really like their practitioners and the way that the company is set up, and it's nationwide here. I'm not sure. I know we have a lot of folks from Australia and Canada and other countries watching. You can check that link. I don't think it's international, but double check down below. But you can use that 25% off code to transfer over. I had switched personally. The reason why I started using a telehealth company to get my Mounjaro prescription was because my doctor was dealing with people who, have the cold and flu and strep throat and stuff like that. And so like getting my prescription already with the Mounjaro shortage was really hard at the pharmacy, but to get the actual prescription refilled or titrating up on doses, it was a lot. Like, it just took 1 week. It took me, no joke, 15 hours in the week. And I was like, I don't have time for this. I have a very enriched schedule, probably like you do. I'm a wife, I'm a mom, I'm a still entrepreneur. I got a lot of stuff going. We foster dogs. Sorry, I got something in my eye. I think it's a dog here. We got a lot on our plate, which is why I switched over to the telehealth, because then I can just do it all electronically. It's really, really easy. In fact, I have my telehealth appointment tomorrow, talking about if I should titrate up to the next dose or stay at this dose. Many of you guys have seen my video. If you haven't, sorry, this thing in my eyes like driving me crazy. It was the video in the Mounjaro playlist, which there's like 100 plus videos now in that playlist. But the video is called The Dark Side of Mounjaro that I made. And it's talking about what happens when you max out at Mounjaro 15 milligrams, which is the highest dose out of all of Mounjaro, but then I'm still having food chatter. What happens then? Right? And so that's why I've been very hesitant to titrate up to Mounjaro 15 milligrams as I kind of walk through this process with my own medical professional. I'm switching over to this telehealth company because like having more of that dialogue and hand holding for me is really, really important. And many of you guys have asked, I did pay for myself and started with a nutritionist. I will link that down below. I do also have a code for you guys for the nutritionist too. It is a month-to-month program. And I'm going to be in it for a while, like at least until 2024. I'm going to be in it. Like I made that commitment to myself to learn more about nutrition because of muscle loss, because of nutrient deficiencies. I'm concerned for my body, that making sure I'm eating the right things. And I had been doing Weight Watchers, which I loved, and Beyond Body, which I've loved. And if you don't want to make an investment with a nutritionist, those are great resources. I'll link them down below with my codes and the discount information because they've been really generous to our community. I really try to negotiate for our community discounts. So I'm like, what discount can I get for all the counts and countesses in the Countess of Shopping community? So anyways, all of that to say, like lots of resources coming here and more coming just because, not just, that's a diminishing word. Let me take that back, rewind, because our community, we're having so much success, right? We're action-focused people. And so if you've made it this far in the video, I do a little thing. It's like Marvel Easter eggs where I give you an emoji, you put it in the comments, and I can see who's watched that far in the video by putting the emoji in the comment. And it helps to get to me to know you better. One, I'll see your handle over and over. Like there's so many people now, like thousands of you that comment on videos, maybe not thousands, hundreds, that, let's keep it real, but I know you, like you're like my friends, right? Like you really, I'm like, oh, I tell my husband and the Duke when I'm going through comments, I'm like, oh my gosh, I may not respond to every comment, but I do see them. So the today's emoji that you can put in the comment, I will also pray over you too. That's the second thing. I'll pray over you. If you don't believe in prayer, then I'm going to send you positive energy. I'm going to be wishing you well and uplifting you, and each person who leaves a comment, again, I may not always comment back, but I will always see your comment and intentionally pause and lift you up in prayer and positive thoughts too. If you don't believe in prayer, positive thoughts. Today's emoji is going to be a fish. Someone put in the last comments, and if this was you, it meant the world to me. It was just keep swimming, just keep swimming. So this is your reminder today with a fish emoji in the comments. Just keep swimming. Ha, 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 ha. From Dory. Just keep swimming. If there's pockets, I thought erroneously when I started taking Mounjaro, it was going to be like a pink cloud. And it has been the most amazing, life-saving. I'm so grateful for this medication. It has truly changed my life. And if you want to hear about all those amazing changes, you can see some of the other videos in the playlist. But I still have issues, right? Like I gained 2 pounds this week. If you guys follow me on Instagram stories, I've talked about it a little bit more, and I'll do a whole update on it. But basically my food chatter, it's the nighttime snacking for me is back. And I'm like, I'm so annoyed with myself. But I did get my Oura Ring back. Thank goodness. You guys have been so helpful for me to find my Oura Ring, which I love and I highly recommend. Got a code for that down in the description link below too. There was a third thing I wanted to tell you. We talked about nutritionist. We talked about the new telehealth company. If you've made it this far, we talked about the emoji, but there was one more thing I felt like I needed to tell you. My Moira Rose voice, I needed to tell you. Oh, you're not going to want to miss next video. I'm not going to tell you, but you will not want to miss it. It's coming out in 2 days. How many days? 2 days from this video. You're not going to want to miss it. Like, just saying. Okay. And all of my resources down below, the Mounjaro Weight Loss Success Checklist, the 125 protein ideas, all of those blog posts are listed down in the description link below, as is the free Mounjaro Weight Loss group. Put your questions down in the comments. If I didn't answer something for you, let me know in the comments. Like I said, I may not answer all your questions, but I do see them, and I almost always try to weave them in future videos, or I'll try to answer it right there on the spot if I can. And if you're in the free group, oh my gosh, there's thousands of us, and we all chitter chatter all day long to each other about like successes or what's not working so well. And it's a great, encouraging, motivational space. That was the fourth thing that I wanted to say. We are an action bunch here at Countess of Shopping. I need to know in the comments, in addition to the fish emoji, so you can put it together or separate, what is your action item this week? We are an action-focused bunch. What is your solution you're working on? Is it drinking more water? Is it the nighttime food eating? I'm not tonight. Today, it's right now at 6:35 as I'm filming this in the evening. I'm done for the day. Kitchen is closed. I am full. I want to know, what are you focused in? Because what we focus in on grows. If we focus in on negative things, that's going to grow. If we focus in on positive things, that's going to grow. Whatever you focus in on, what you put your attention towards is going to grow, right? And so let's focus in on things that are going to move us forward and move the needle figuratively and literally on our health journey. Get it? Move the needle. Master fun here at Countess of Shopping. And I'm going to get some rest because this girl is tired. 120 pounds. I walked so much yesterday. My Oura Ring told me. It also told me, by the way, there's this thing on there. I had updated the Oura Ring app. It was like, homegirl, you're stressed. It told me in there. It was like, you need to chill out. It has this graph and it shows you your, like, are you engaged? Are you relaxed? Are you stressed? And, anyways, it told me tonight I need to chill out, which is what I'm going to do. So I'm posting this video and then I'm going to go chill out. So be kind to yourself, be kind to others. I'm Countess of Shopping. Count my blessings because life is delicious. I look forward to seeing you guys again next time. Have a powerful day, friends. Bye.